I can see everybody. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Happy New Year. Hopefully we're off to a good start this year. And everybody had a nice holiday, socially distanced holiday. And hopefully because of that, next year we'll be able to be with our family. So let's just get settled in, as we always do. Sit up nice and tall. And if you can, sit up on a blanket or maybe a block. So we try to open up and we're not compressing in our hips, in our chest. And then we'll start to connect with our breath. So we'll follow the breath in and out. You can close your eyes. And just watch as the breath flows in through the nose and out through the nose. Relax your jaw, soften your temples. Take your shoulders up towards your ears, float them back, and then down. So you feel your chest lift. You can even take your hands on your knees and gently pull on your knees to get that openness in the chest. We're going to work on the chest and the shoulders and the neck this morning. Focus on opening the chest. Keep the crown of the head rising up. And still focus on your breath in and out. Then let's take a big breath in and let that go. And now let's breathe into the count of 5. So breathe in. Hold it here for 5. Gently release for 5. Control the exhale. Draw the navel in and up, hold it here for 5. Inhale, 5, 4. Fill it up, 2, 1, hold it. Gently release. Hold it here. Let's do that again. Breath in. Hold it. Exhale. Hold it at the bottom. And then one more time. Inhale. Hold it. Gently exhale. Control the breath. Hold it here. And then just let your breath flow in and out naturally. All right. So let's just start by opening up the neck. So we're going to keep sitting up nice and tall. We still want to feel that openness in the chest. So if you want to continue to keep your hands on your knees, just gently pull back and then lift the chest. Crown of the head still rises up. And then we're going to take our chin into our chest. So I still want to feel that chest lifting as we take the chin down toward the chest. And maybe take your hands on the back of your neck, or the back of your head, actually, not your neck. And feel the stretch in the cervical spine and the upper back. We come back to our breath here, focusing on the inhalation and the exhalation. And then we can release our hands. And keeping the chest lifted, we're going to start to take the chin up toward the sky. And the collarbones toward the floor. Feel the openness of the neck, stretching the tissue. And then we'll gently bring our chin parallel to the floor, sitting up nice and tall. Now we're going to look over the right shoulder. And just take your time as you twist over to the right. Shoulders stay in line with each other. So we're only twisting through the cervical spine. Not the lumbar, not the thoracic, just the upper spine. Shoulders float back and down. Chest stays lifted. And then bring your chin slowly back to center. And we're going to look over the left shoulder. Same thing. Keep the shoulders in line with each other so that you're just twisting through the neck. It doesn't matter how far you get. We're just starting to open up, warm up the neck, the upper spine. And then we'll bring the chin back to center and sit here for a breath. Now let's take our right ear gently to our right shoulder. And we're going to take our head toward the front of our mat until the left ear and left shoulder meet. And then we're going to go back in the other direction. So control this. Just go at your own pace. Slow is good. Sometimes when you go slower, you really start to feel the stretching and the lengthening. So just take your time. Let's do this a couple more times. And then the next time an ear and a shoulder meet, stay there. And then we're going to do the same thing, going toward the back of our mat. Nice and slow. And as always, you may feel a little bit more tightness here. I certainly do. You may even feel a particular area that's really tight. Maybe even a little bit of pain. Just kind of notice what's going on. If you feel anything that's pretty irregular compared to the rest of the rotation of the neck, just let your head hang there. Breathe into it. Maybe you can knead that out for a breath. I have a little spot right over toward my right shoulder. It feels way tighter than the rest. I'm just gonna let my head hang there for a breath or two, and then I'll move on. Just kind of watch what's going on, but be gentle. Don't force anything. And then the next time an ear and a shoulder meet, stay there. Carefully bring your head up. Okay. So now let's let's take our strap first. And you can just take your strap, fold it in half, or whatever you're working with. You know what length you need by now. I don't think there's anybody new in here today. So you guys have been doing this for a while. And we're just going to take the strap and bring the strap out in, so our arms are out in front of our shoulders. We're just going to start here. So keep it here. You want the wrists right in line with the shoulders. So it's like just shoulder distance. So we're just going to kind of pull to the right and pull to the left. Hi, Andrea. So nice to see you. And then we're just going to reach the arms up overhead. You can even turn your palms out. So just go where you can go here. If this is hard on your shoulders, you can take your wrists a little bit further apart. Take the shoulders down away from your ears. Now, even here, we're going to lift the chest. So we're keeping the chest open, and we're going to draw the navel in and up as we exhale. And just continue to breathe here. And then slowly bring your hands back down. And sit here for a breath. Kind of notice how that feels, warming up the shoulders. So now we can take our arms a little bit wider. And we'll bring the arms up and over here, overhead to start. So you want them wide because then we're going to go behind. And so make sure you have enough strap length that you can get this openness of the chest here. And then come back up and over. And just go at your own pace. Rotating your arms up and back. And up and back. And maybe you can go a little bit quicker. Starting to lubricate the shoulders. And we can add the figure 8. You can take your right hand behind and your left hand in front. And then the left hand behind and the right hand in front. And then go ahead and let's bring the strap back in front. Just put it up, just put it in front of you, keep it nearby. We're gonna go back to use it in a sec. So now we're just gonna bring our arms up and overhead again. We're gonna take a hold of the right wrist with the left thumb and forefinger. Inhale, and as you exhale, we're just gonna kind of reach over to the right slightly. So we're kind of opening up here on your left side, just a little bit of a lateral flexion. Inhale. We'll go deeper than this a little bit later, but right now we're just starting to open and lengthen. Inhale, exhale. Pulling on the right wrist. And then come on back up, and we'll switch sides. So we're gonna take a hold of the left wrist. Inhale, then we're gonna reach over the opposite way, yeah. I think I did that backwards, but that's okay. As long as we're getting that stretch. And then come on back up and bring your arms down. Okay, so now we're gonna go deeper into our lateral flexion. So we're gonna walk our right arm out to the right. And I put a block here. So we wanna focus on keeping this left hip down, the left sit bone into our blanket. So if you need a block here, that'll help do that. So let's reach the left arm back up, and then we're gonna reach over. So now we're going a lot deeper into this left side. So you may or may not need a block. But we wanna focus on pressing that left hip and sit bone down. Inhale, exhale. Just try to take the right shoulder blade forward to keep the shoulders in line with each other. One more breath. Press down through that left hip. Reach through your left fingertips. And then carefully come up. And we'll do that on the other side. So we'll walk the left hand over, reach the right arm up, and then we're gonna press that right sit bone into your mat and lean over, reach over with your right hand to the left, pressing away with the left hand. So we're pressing that left hand into the mat as we press away with our right hip. And then come up. All right. So now we're gonna walk the right hand back over. This time we'll take the left arm out to the left, and then we're gonna take it back toward the back of our mat. We're gonna take the right ear to the right shoulder. So now we're starting to feel this in this upper trapezius muscle on the left side. So the left arm is reaching back, maybe down, maybe somewhere in between. You can move it around until you find that spot. A nice big stretch in your upper trapezius muscle. Hold it here. And even just like before, we want to keep the left sit bone down. So if you need a block here, place a block under your right hand. Couple more breaths. Now let's take our right hand onto our right ear. Slowly guide your head up. And then sit up here and just notice the left from the right. Just notice all the space that we're starting to create. And then we'll do that on the other side. So we'll take our left ear to our left shoulder, walk the left hand out. You can always use a block. And then we'll take the right arm out to the right. Maybe back, maybe down, maybe somewhere in between. Move it around till you find that sweet spot. You'll know when you find it. It's a nice big stretch. Breathe in and out. Keep the chest lifted. Two more breaths. And then we'll take our left hand onto our left ear and slowly take our head up. And again, just sit here for a breath or two and notice how that feels. All right, let's take our strap again. And we're going to take the strap and drape it over the right wrist. And then you can take a hold of it like this. We'll reach the arm up and then bend it. So the elbow's pointing up toward your ceiling. Then we're going to just help it along a little bit. So we don't want the elbow away from our ear. We want it in nice and close to the ear. So we're going to help it along. And then even turn the tricep toward the front of your mat, toward your camera. And then we'll take the left arm out, thumb down, reach around and find your strap. And don't be so worried about getting the hands to touch. That's not what we're going for here. If some of you are trying to do that. If your hands are close, it's almost better just to use your strap. So we're going to lift the chest. Draw your navel in and up as you exhale. Pull down on the bottom strap, pull up on the top strap. Breathe here. Opening up the chest, the shoulders. Feel the left shoulder drawing down away from your ear and the right shoulder drawing down away from your ear. So we're not hunching up. We've got that openness and the chest stays lifted. And then let's carefully come out. And we'll do that on the other side. So now we'll take it over the left wrist. Hold on. Just take a hold of it and then we'll reach the arm up. Bend the elbow. Help it along. We're going to try to get that elbow close to the ear. Or at least the bicep close to the ear. And then we'll even turn the tricep toward the front of the room to get the internal rotation. Then we'll take the right arm out, reach around, find your strap. Sit up tall. Lift the chest. Take your low belly in and up. Pull on the top strap, pull on the bottom. And continue to focus on your breath. And then let's come up. Slowly, take your time. And just sit here again. And notice how that feels. Really starting to open up through the neck and the chest. So we can put the strap aside. We're going to take our arms out to the sides. Sit up tall. Open the chest. Reach through your fingertips. Get your arms nice and long. Inhale. And then exhale, cross your right elbow under your left. Take a hold of your shoulders. Maybe the back of your hands come together, or you can find a grip, maybe holding onto your thumb or your palms come together. Press the elbows forward and up. Inhale. Exhale, draw your navel in and up. Engage the core. Engage the abdominals. And the more you press the elbows up and forward, the more we get that expansion across the shoulders. Again, if you can't bring your hands together, don't worry about it. Just hold on to your shoulders. Just go where you can go here. And then unwind. Take a breath. Arms come out again. This time we'll take the left under the right. And maybe this side's different. It might be a little bit more challenging. So you hold on to your shoulders, maybe just the backs, the hands come together, or you can bring your palms together, or some variation. Inhale, exhale, engage the abdominals, press the elbows up and forward. Continue to focus on the breath, pressing the elbows forward and up. And feel that expansion across the shoulders. Keep breathing. And then go ahead and uncross. Come back to just a seated position here. All right. So inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, twist over to the right. So your left hand will come on your right knee and your right hand will come behind you. Right up toward your tailbone. So if you're on a blanket, it might even be on your blanket. Inhale, grow your spine long. Exhale, twist. So now we're twisting through the lumbar spine, right? We're feeling this twist right through into the belly area. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale one more time, grow the spine nice and long. Feel the crown of the head rising up. And then exhale, twist, and maybe you can look over your right shoulder. And then let's come back to center. Inhale, reach your arms back up. And we're going to twist over to the left. So the right hand comes on your knee, left hand behind you, close to your tailbone. We're going to inhale, grow the spine long. So when you press your left hand into your mat, it helps get the spine long. We're trying to create that space, keeping the chest lifted, and then we twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, spine goes nice and long. And then exhale, twist. Maybe you can take a look over your left shoulder. And then come on back to center. And then let's come on to our hands and knees. Pad them with a blanket if you need to. We're going to stack our shoulders over our wrists. Hips are going to be over the knees. And just stay here for right now. So we're spreading our fingers wide. You can touch the toenails down onto your mat. And we're going to inhale. And as you exhale, draw your navel in and up. So that's all we're doing right now. We're just engaging the core. Push the floor away with your hands. So now the more you push away, you're going to feel the shoulders expanding. And then inhale, just relax everything. Exhale, push the floor away, draw your navel in and up. It's really feeling the shoulder blades activating. But we're not doing much else. There's not a lot of movement here. Inhale, just let everything go. One more time. Exhale. Push your hands into the floor. Almost kind of like you're pulling them to the outside edges of your mat. Engage the abdominals. And then go ahead and inhale and release. So now we'll add cat-cow to that. So this time, exhale, we're going to take our tailbone toward our knees, still pushing the floor away. Tuck your chin into your chest. Rounding the back into cat pose. Now inhale, take your tailbone toward the sky. So your belly's gonna just drop toward the mat. Broaden across your collarbones. You can look down or maybe take the chin toward the sky. And let's flow through that at our own pace. Exhaling to cat, inhaling to cow. Just flow through at your own pace a few more times. All right, let's do 2 more. Exhaling to cat. Maybe you want to even get your hips into the action. 1 more breath. And then come back to neutral spine. Let's have a seat, but this time we're going to sit lengthwise on our mat. And then we're going to lower down onto our backs. So keep your blanket and a strap handy. And then once you're in your seated position, we're going to lower all the way down. All right, so let's take our legs to the edge of our mat. And then let's find our strap. So you can fold the strap in half, especially if you have a long one. And we're going to inhale, reach the arms up like we did earlier, and we're going to reach the arms overhead. So we do this a lot. This is a full body stretch, but today we're going to use a strap here. Usually, sometimes we hook our thumbs, sometimes we just have the arms parallel to each other. Today we're going to play around with the strap here. So inhale here, and as you exhale, press through your heels, pull on the strap, like you're pulling the right out to the right, the left out to the left, and the belly button draws in and up. Inhale, just let everything go. Exhale, pull on the strap. Chest stays lifted. Navel draws in and up, and we're pressing the heels away, like we're pressing our heels into a wall. Some of you might even be at a wall. Inhale, release. Exhale, press and reach. Inhale, release. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, press and reach. Inhale, let it go. And 1 more time. Exhale, full body stretch. Pressing through your heels. Navel draws up toward the chin. And then release. And we can put the strap over to the side. Okay, let's now keep the left leg long. We're going to hug the right knee up. Clasp around the right knee. We're extending through the left heel. And then we're going to take our left hand onto our right knee and take the knee over to the left. The right arm will extend out. Inhale, press through your left heel. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, and twist. Inhale 1 more time. Exhale, twist. And then bring your knee up. And let that foot glide to the edge of your mat. All right, other side. Left knee's going to come up. Clasp around the knee. Extend your right leg nice and long. Keep the chest lifted. We're going to take our right hand onto our left knee. Inhale. Exhale, twist over to the right. Inhale, press through the left heel, lengthen. Exhale, maybe you can go a little bit deeper into your twist. But don't worry about how far you go. It's all about you and where you are in your practice, or even in your body today. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And then bring your knee up. And we'll float that foot to the floor, to the edge of your mat. All right, now we're going to go with our breath. 1 breath, 1 movement. So inhale the right knee up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale the knee back up. Exhale, float the foot to the floor. Inhale, left knee comes up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, Bring the knee up. Exhale, float. And let the foot glide down. One more time each side. Inhale, right knee up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, bring your knee up. Exhale, float and place down. Left knee comes up on the inhale. We do the work on the exhale. This is the morning series, or part of the morning series. Inhale, bring it up. And exhale, let that knee glide and place down. And just stay here. All right. So now we're going to take the knee back up, the right knee back up. Clasp around the knee. Extend through the left leg. And we're going to take our forehead up toward our knee. Tuck your chin into your chest. If there's any problem, any neck issues here, just take your head back down on the floor. Don't worry so much about bringing it up. Hold it here. Hug everything in. Push that left foot into an imaginary wall or a real wall. Some of you might be there. And then we're going to release. Other side. Left knee comes up. Clasp around the knee. Press your right leg into an imaginary wall. Like you're trying to really activate that leg. And then we're going to bring the forehead up to the knee. And then we're going to release. And we'll go with our breath. Exhale, right knee up, forehead to your knee. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, left knee comes up. Inhale, release. Exhale, right knee up. Inhale, release. And exhale, left knee up. And then release and just stay here again. So we start to warm up the spine. Warming up all of our tissues and joints. So now let's bring both knees up. And we're going to take our forehead toward the knee. So we're hugging everything in here. Hug it in. Squeeze it in. Again, if this is too much on the neck, just stay down here. And then we're going to inhale and float the feet toward the floor. And if you want, you can reach your arms overhead. So the core is going to get involved here. It's almost like one of those Pilates moves. So we're going to exhale, bring everything up. Squeeze it in. Inhale, float your feet with control, and then place them down. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, with control. Float the feet and then place them down. 2 more times. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale. Reach and place. 1 more. Exhale, hug everything in. And then inhale. And place your feet down. And then you can just bring your arms back down by your side or on your belly. Now we're going to take the knees back up. We're going to hug them in. And you can maybe interlace your fingers or hold on to each knee. Whatever feels good for you. We want the knees kind of up toward the chest. Keep the chest lifted. We're going to rock over to the right, just far enough that we don't tip over. And then come back to center. And then over to the left. Again, just far enough that you're not going to tip over. And just go at your own pace, from side to side. Giving yourself a massage in your low back. Keep the chest lifted. So even here, there's a little bit of core involved, right? So we don't fall over. We're just trying to get to that place where we're getting that massage on our back, but we're not going into a twist. All right, 1 more time each side. Really feel this on the back. See if you can articulate that so you're getting this massage on your low back and the upper back. Bring your knees back up. Place your feet down. And let's find our strap again. All right, so we're going to send the left leg long. Grab my here. And we're going to take our strap around the right foot, or the heel, just above the heel. The left leg goes nice and long. So the right hand's on the right side, left hand's on the left. So I know some of you might want to use your loop. If you want to use your loop, you can just have your right hand on your loop. Either way, I'll kind of do it with the loop, but with both hands. So we're locking our shoulders down into the floor, into your mat, so the chest stays lifted. Now, if your knee's bending, then you're coming too close to your head. You want to take your leg far enough away that you're feeling this in your hamstring. And we're inhaling here, lift the chest, exhale, draw the navel in and up, and then we're pressing the right thigh bone away from our chin. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Press that right thigh bone away from the chin, and then we draw the navel in and up. Let's do that 2 more times. So you're feeling that stretch through the hamstrings. We're trying to create some traction in the hip a little bit. All right, let's switch sides. So you can take the left foot up, right leg goes long. So with the right leg, we want to make sure that the extended leg is active. So we're really pressing through that right heel. We're taking the right toes, especially the pinky toe, toward the sky to get the internal rotation of the right thigh. And then we're flexing through both feet. Now lock the shoulders down, keep the chest lifted, and we take that left thigh bone away from our chin. And then the low belly draws in and up. Pull down on your strap as you press your foot into your strap. So again, you should feel this in the hamstring. So if you're not feeling it, your knees bent, you take your leg a little bit straighter so you can get into your hamstrings. What I didn't say on the other foot is, and I do say this a lot, so you guys know this, but if you do deal with any kind of nerve impingement, sciatica, you can point your toes toward the sky, flex your toes toward your chin. You can point and flex through this, any of these poses that we're going to do right now. So if that is something that's going on with you and you want to do that, feel free. I may forget to say it, but that's always available to you. All right, let's switch sides again. So I'll take the strap around the right foot, left leg goes long, that pinky toe points up toward the sky in the left leg. Now we're going to take both ends of the strap into our left hand, and we're going to take our right thumb into our right hip crease. And we're just going to start here for a breath. So we're going to inhale, keep the chest lifted, try to let the left shoulder down, and we're going to push that right thigh bone. So right now the right heel is above the right hip. We're going to push that right thigh bone away. All right, so now we've got our hand there to help us do that, to create a little bit more traction. Inhale, exhale. Navel draws in and up. Inhale here. This time when we exhale, we're going to take our right heel over in line with the left shoulder. So the right thumb stays at the right hip crease. Inhale, exhale, push that right thigh bone away. And you can point and flex here if you want. And as we exhale, we draw the navel in and up. Really feel the navel engaging. One more breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring the leg back up. We'll remove the strap and take that leg to the edge of our mat. And switch sides. Both ends of the strap into the right hand. Left thumb comes into your left hip crease. So right now we're keeping the left hip over the left thigh, but we're still pushing that left thigh bone away, and we're locking the right shoulder down, so that keeps the chest lifted. Inhale, right pinky toe points up toward the sky. You engage your quadricep on the right leg. Exhale, press that left thigh bone away. Draw the navel in and up. And if you want to, you can point and flex. Chest stays lifted. Thigh bone presses away. Inhale. This time as we exhale, we're going to take that left heel over in line with our right shoulder. So just coming across the body. Left thumb into your left hip crease. We're going to push that left thigh bone away. And as we draw the navel in and up on the exhale. So there's a lot going on here, right? There's a lot to think about. It's easy to forget about the right leg because we got so much going on in the left leg. So with every breath, we check in, right? Left, and the left leg is active, right? We're pushing that left thigh bone away. The right leg is active. We're pointing the pinky toe up. Inhale. Exhale, take that left leg back up. And remove your strap and take that leg long. All right, now we're going to go back to the right leg. Now, if you have a block or a blanket, it's nice to put it right on the outer edge of your right hip. And both ends of the strap are going to come into our right hand. So it's just like before, the heel's kind of in line with our hip or maybe a little bit further out, depending on your hamstrings. Left hand's going to come onto your left hip bone. Chest lifts. Left leg is long and straight and strong, right? We're engaging the quadriceps, pinky toes pointing up. Inhale here. And as you exhale, we're going to lower the right leg out to the right. So now we're getting into the inner thigh here, the adductors. Left pinky toe pointing up. We want the internal rotation of the left leg. Chest lifts. Outer edge of your right foot is parallel to the floor. You're welcome to point and flex here. You want to do that as well. We're pulling the left hip down to the floor with our left hand. Chest lifts. A few more breaths here. Really feeling this opening of that adductor. I always say this one feels good, but it feels good to me. It may not feel good to you. I actually really like this one. This feels good to open up the inner thigh. But if this is painful at all, you can put, like I said, put a block or a blanket underneath your right hip. You can put a block underneath your right ankle, maybe to support it. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Use your core strength, bringing your leg up. And we'll remove the strap. Send that leg to the edge of your mat. Come back to the left. If you used your block or a blanket, move it over to the other side. All right, both ends of the strap come into the left hand. Right leg extends, right leg is active, right? We still want that pinky toe pointing up toward the sky. And then our right hand comes down to our right hip. We want to hold that hip down and keep it from popping up. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, open the leg out to the left. Check in here. Inhale, what's the right leg doing? Can you point that right pinky toe up and pull that right hip down? Exhale, lower your left leg out so the outer edge of your left leg is parallel to the floor, and then we draw that belly button up toward our chin. And breathe here, a couple more breaths. See how this feels. Make adjustments. If it's too intense, put a block or a blanket underneath your left hip, or maybe support the left leg. You can even use a chair. Oh, maybe a lot more props that you can experiment with in your own home. One more breath. Inhale. And as we exhale, draw the leg up. Engage your abdominals. Remove the strap. Take the legs long. And then you can put everything aside for right now. The strap, the blankets, the blocks. And just stay here for a breath. Kind of check in. How does that feel? Working the hips. We're opening up the hips. So now we're moving, obviously, as you know, the hip series. So we open the hips up and move the hips in 6 directions. Six movements of the hips. So let's bend the knees. And you can, as you bend your knees and place your feet down, just kind of pick your tailbone up slightly and take it towards your heels. You'll feel your spine lengthen a little bit more. Keep your hips square so the hips are in line with your shoulders. And you can just keep your hands on your belly for right now. We're going to slide the right foot over to the right and let that right knee drop toward the left foot. So lots of things you can do even here. You can put a block underneath your right knee. You can put a blanket. If you're on a hardwood floor, like I am, I'm just missing a rug here. If your foot's kind of digging into your floor, you can put a blanket underneath your right foot. So kind of check in. This is a first check-in. Second, maybe you can take your left foot onto your right thigh. So now your right hip's probably going to pop up even more. If that's too intense for you, just go back to the left foot on the floor. Then we check our alignment. Is our right knee in line with our right shoulder? We kind of look up and then lower down. So this is internal rotation of the right hip. So how does this feel? Just checking it. If you want to add on, you can reach your right arm overhead and then take a hold of your right wrist with your left thumb and forefinger. So now we're adding the upper attachment. So we're getting into the psoas, quadricep. Now we're adding the upper attachment of the psoas by lifting the arm up and overhead. And we're just kind of gently pulling on the right arm as we take the belly in and up. Inhale. Exhale. Engage the abdominals. Let's take just a couple more breaths. And then we're going to carefully come back. So both feet are on the floor and the knees are pointing up. Square up your hips if they moved over a little bit. And then we'll do the other side. So we'll slide the left foot over and the knee's going to drop in toward the right foot. All right, that's check-in one. Right, station one. How does this feel? So the left hip's popping up a little bit at this point. Maybe you can take your right foot onto your left thigh. Don't be afraid to put a block or a pillow or something underneath your left knee if this is really hard for you, because this is not an easy pose. So just going to check in and see what you need here. Then we check our alignment. We need to make that adjustment. So left knee in line with the left shoulder. The left hip's popping up. This might be enough for you. Stay here or extend your left arm overhead. Take a hold of your wrist with your right hand. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Lift the chest. Exhale. Draw your navel in and up. And as you breathe into it, you may get a little bit more range of motion. That left hip might pop up a little bit more. One more breath. And then bring both feet back onto your mat. Knees are pointing up. Square off your hips. All right, so that was our internal rotation. Now we're going to externally rotate. So we're going to take the right knee. Now it's going to come out. And the right foot will tuck behind that left heel. So right here, you're starting to feel this openness right here in the hip flexor. Externally rotating. This might be enough for you, or you can take your left heel in front of your right shin so the left knee drops out to the left. Or you can take your left foot onto your right thigh and the left knee drops out to the left. So just kind of check in, see how this feels in your hips, especially from the internal rotation, right? So maybe it feels better to be in an internal rotation position for you, maybe because a lot of times it's based on how your hips insert into the hip sockets. And if you want to reach your arms overhead, you can take them overhead, you can take them wide, you can hold on to your opposite elbows. You can even use your strap like we did earlier. Lift the chest. I can even hold on to my chair right here. It happens to be there. Lift the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Engage the abdominals. Flex your feet. Notice how this feels. 2 more breaths. And then carefully uncross from wherever you are there. The knees are going to point back up. And we'll switch sides. So the left knee will drop out to the left, and we're going to tuck the left foot behind the right heel. And this might be it. This is perfect. You're still going to get this external rotation of your left hip. Or take the left heel in front of your right, the right heel in front of your left shin. So you're basically in Sukhasana in this cross-legged position. You're going to get external rotation in both hips here. A little bit more. You can take your left foot onto your right foot onto your left thigh and let your right knee drop out. Check in. How does this feel? Maybe you can take your arms up overhead. Again, and adding that attachment of the upper psoas. Arms can be wide, elbows, or maybe you can even hold onto your strap like we did a little earlier. Lift the chest. You just kind of explore here. Explore your body. How is this feeling? This week, we do these a lot, so you can kind of tell. I know every week this hip does not like this, right? For me, I should probably do it every single day. The other hip's fine with external rotation. This hip does not like external rotation. It's just a way my hip is built. So you probably notice things like that too. Doesn't mean anything. It's just how we use our muscles and our joints, and how we've been sitting at desks our whole lives, all that stuff. That's why we do yoga, to counter all of the stuff that we do to our bodies all week long. So let's uncross, knees point back up. You can just take your feet wide on your mat and just let the knees drop over to the right and then the left. Just for a couple breaths here. And then just let them drop over to one side, and we're going to roll over to that side. And we'll come onto our hands and knees. All right. So from our hands and knees, we'll take our left foot forward. And you can have some blocks here. Or you can just bring your hands up onto it depends on your psoas. So you can stay here, bring your hands up onto your leg. All right, now we're taking our tailbone toward the front heel. So we're going to start feeling this. We're back into this hip flexor. Take your low belly up towards your chin. And then inhale the right arm up. Low belly draws up toward your chin. So really, again, right now we're in that quadricep, the psoas, the upper attachment as we reach the arm up. Inhale. Then take your arm over to the left. One more breath. And then come up, and we'll switch sides. So come back into your lunge. Bring your hands up onto your thigh. So you want your knee over your ankle. And you want your foot far enough forward that when you take your tailbone towards your heel, you're getting the stretch here in your hip flexor. And then we can reach the left arm up. Inhale. Exhale. Draw the navel in and uplift the chest. And then we can take the arm over toward the right. A little bit more stretch in the hip. And then bring the arm up, come back down, come onto your hands and knees. And let's, from here, turn your toes under And lift into down dog with your knees bent, your heels high. Spread your fingers wide. Wiggle your chest to your thighs. Look at your knees. Now maybe take your tailbone a little bit higher, and then you can lower your heels closer to the floor. Press through the right heel, bend the left knee. And then switch. You can pedal your feet a couple times. Just going with your own breath. Now from here, shift forward to plank. So take your shoulders over your wrists. Push the floor away from you. You're welcome to place your knees down onto the mat or leave them up. We want everything in one line. So we're pressing our hands into the mat. We're kind of pulling away, just like we did when we were on all fours a little earlier. Draw your navel in and up. So feel the shoulders expanding, pulling apart. One more breath. Draw the navel in and up. And then exhale. Take the hips high. Come back to down dog. Now look towards your hands. Walk your feet and your hands toward each other. Take your hands onto your hips and come up. Okay. All right. So let's keep your block nearby. We're going to hit start in Tadasana. Feet are hip distance. Hands by your sides. Draw the kneecaps up toward the thighs. Take the belly up towards your chin. Lift the chest. Crown of your head rises up. Breathe here. Now we're going to take our feet wide. And we're going to turn the right toes out, left toes in. And we're going to take our block. We can take our block behind our right foot. Arms extend out. So to check your alignment of your feet, the right heel should intersect the arch, or you can always just have the heel intersect or can be in line with the heel. Just depends. You'll know when we start going into the pose what feels good in your hips. So arms extend out. We reach out through the fingertips. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, reach out over your right toes. We're going to take our right hand onto our block, left hand onto our hip. And start here, check in. Stack the left shoulder over the right. Root down through both feet. So the legs are really active. That back leg is really active. The kneecaps drawing up. And we take the right rib cage toward the left rib cage. And then maybe take your left arm up. Reach through the left fingertips. Press into your block. And then if you want to, you can look up at your left thumb. Again, we did that exercise at the beginning of the practice, right, to create that movement in the cervical spine. But we always want the head to be an extension of the spine, so we don't want the head hanging, so we're adding weight here. So you can look down at your foot, straight ahead or up there at your thumb. Take your right sit bone towards your back heel and lift the chest. Inhale, exhale, come all the way up. You can bring your block with you. We're going to switch sides. So we'll turn the left toes out, right toes in. Arms extend out. Inhale, lift the chest. Engage the thighs. Exhale, reach out. Right hand can come onto your hip, left hand on your block. Take the left rib cage toward the right rib cage. Press into your block. Left sit bone presses back toward the right heel. Maybe extend your right arm up. And again, where's your gaze? Maybe down at your foot, straight ahead, or up at your right thumb. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. And then come all the way up. Bring your feet in alignment with each other. Step your feet together. Take a breath. Okay. So now we're going to use both blocks. And I'm going to turn this way. Or if you have a chair, and really, we're not really using the chair today, but we do use a chair a lot lately. So it's always good to have it handy if you have one that you like. So right now our feet are hip distance. So let's take a step back with our left foot. So the right foot will be forward. Hands on our hips, take the hips square. So we're pressing the left hip forward, right hip back. So we're just a leg length here. It's not as wide as we were in triangle. Hips are square. We're gonna maybe bring the hands a little closer to each other behind us and inhale, lift the chest. So we're getting a back bend here. Inhale, exhale, keep the chest lifted, hinge forward. Just so your torso comes parallel to the floor. Inhale, exhale, pull that right hip back, left hip forward, and we take our hands down onto our blocks. Now, for you, some of you might have different heights. There's 3 heights to the block. Some of you might be okay with your hands on the mat. Or you can always use your chair. So this is the hamstrings, right? You're feeling this in your hamstrings of the front leg. Inhale, exhale, pull that right hip back. So we're just keeping the chest lifted here. We're not trying to take the forehead toward the thigh for this time. Right now we're working on the hamstrings. Inhale, exhale. One more breath. Now, stay right here in pyramid pose, or you can add twisted triangle to it. So if you want to go into the twist, we're going to take the left hand under our right shoulder with your block or without your block. We're going to twist over to the right. So we're going to take our right shoulder over the left. The right hand can land on your low back. We're going to start to stack that right shoulder over the left. Pull that right hip back. Stay here, or maybe take your right arm up. What's going on with your feet? We're rooting down into the feet, right? We're drawing the kneecaps into the thighs. The leg stays really strong here. We've got a twist going on here, right? A little bit of a balance. Breathe in. Can you take that right hip back without picking up the left heel? Maybe you can look up at your right thumb. And then carefully come down. Take your hands on your hips and come up. Step your feet together. All right, we'll do that on the other side. So the right foot comes back, left foot forward. Have your blocks where you need them. Hands on your hips. Let's take that left hip back, right hip forward. Walk your hands in toward each other to get the lift of the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the chest lifted. We're going to hinge forward. Torso comes parallel to the floor. Hands come down onto your blocks. So whatever height you need. And one leg might be a little bit more open. You might get a little bit more range of motion. You might be able to go a little bit lower on your blocks on one side. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, pull that left hip back. Press the right hip forward. Inhale. Exhale. So you can always use a chair. All of my teachers use chairs. This is they're all pretty much Iyengar based. So they lots of props, lots of chairs, walls, which I love. All right. So let's now stay here in pyramid and work on this. Or slide your right hand underneath your nose. We'll start to twist over to the left so that you can stack the left shoulder over the right. The left hand can land on your low back. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale, twist. If it feels okay in your shoulders, extend that left arm up. You can always pick up that right foot and move it over to the right a little bit more. That might help get in your twist if you feel like you're having a little trouble in the twist. Pull the left hip back. Couple more breaths. And then slowly make your way down. Hands on your hips, come all the way up. Let's step our feet together. Come to Tadasana. Take a breath here. All right. So let's now make our way back down. We're going to do some more heart openers. Let's take a big inhale, reach your arms up. Look up at your thumbs. Even hook your thumbs together. Take your low belly up towards your chin. Now release the grip. We're going to take our elbows down in line with our shoulders and then actually toward the rib cage, opening up the chest. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, take a gentle forward bend. And forward. And then you're going to take your hands down and step back to downward facing dog. All right, now from here, shift forward to plank again. Knees on or off, it's up to you. Push the floor away from you. If your knees are off the mat, pressing our heels away. If your knees are on the mat, we're all pressing our hands into the mat, lifting the chest, even trying to pull the hands away from each other. And then go ahead, place our knees down. Then we're going to come all the way down onto our belly. So you may want a strap handy, or even a blanket. So let's just start with our hands underneath our shoulders. Chin is the center of our mat. And we're going to pick up our right leg and reach it to the back of our mat and touch our toes down. Pick up the left leg, reach it to the back, touch the toes down. Hands are underneath the shoulders and lift your heart. So we're touching all 10 toenails into the mat. Inhale, lift, hug it in for Bhujangasana, for Cobra Pose. Lift the chest. You should be able to just shake your head no tension in the neck. Inhale, lift. Exhale, now just lower halfway down. Inhale, lift again. Maybe you can even pick your hands up off the mat. Without dumping into the low back though, that's what we really want to engage the feet into the mat. So we take that pressure off the low mat. One more breath, inhale, lift. Exhale, come all the way down. Turn them just look to the right. All right. Here's where you might want to strap. So we're going to take our chin back to the center of the mat. We're going to come into locust pose, Shavasana. So you can get your strap, or if it's comfortable for you to interlace your fingers behind your back, you can do that. I like a strap. So however you can get a strap. Mine tends to be kind of bunched up. Okay, I'm going to get it like this. So our straps, right kind of at the bottom of our butts, top of our legs. Inhale, lift your chest. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades in toward each other and slide our hands toward our thighs. Inhale, lift. Maybe lift your thighs. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep the chest lifted. Even here, you should be able to shake your head no. There's no tension in the neck. One more breath. Lift. Reach. And then come down. Turn and look to the left. You can turn your toes under, kind of wiggle your hips from side to side. And then come on back to center. So your chin is to center. That's what I meant. So you can do one of those. You can do Cobra. You can do Locust. If you want to go into Dhanurasana, we'll bend our knees. Lift the chest. Reach back, find your ankles. So sometimes it's a little bit of work, but you can also use a strap here. Maybe use a strap and find your strap. So whatever works for you, or just stay in one of the other poses. If you're in Dhanurasana, we got a hold of our ankles or the tops of our feet, and then we're kicking into our hands. And the more you kick, the more we open up the chest. And maybe even lift your thighs. Now squeeze your inner thighs into an imaginary block. Kicking, the more you kick, the more we open. Just go where you can go here. Good. See if you can flex your feet. Good. And then go ahead and release. And just windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Take a breath. That one's easy to hold our breath and the heart rate. When we start doing back bends, the heart rate definitely goes up. And that's what we're doing. All right, so when you've had enough of your windshield wiper, you kind of feel like your heart level's back down, let's kind of press up and onto our knees. Let's see how to do this. So we're going to go into Camel Pose, another back bend. And there's a lot of options here as well. So you can keep your toes tucked under. You can have some blocks on each side of your foot. So we want our knees underneath our hips. So there's a nice long line from the shoulders, hips, and knees. And we take our hands on our low back. So just like we did when we were standing, we're going to inhale when we're doing pyramid pose. We're going to inhale, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. But this time we're just going back. Now we're going to inhale, lift, and start to lean back even more. Hips stay over the knees. You can start to look up at your ceiling. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep the chest lifted. Stay right here. If this is enough for you, stay here. You're doing camel pose. You're doing a back bend. Or you can maybe reach back, find one block, and then extend the other arm up. Or even your heel. One block, extend the other arm up. Stay here for a breath or two. Switch sides. Or you can reach back, find your blocks, find your heels. Focus on keeping the hips over the knees. You can let your head fall back, or you can just keep your chin tucked. 2 more breaths, wherever you are. Don't hold your breath here. It's easy to hold your breath, right? 1 more breath. And then slowly come all the way up. Take child's pose. Take your knees wide. Tailbone can press back towards your heels. Extend your arms out. Bring the heart rate down. All right, come on back up onto your hands and knees. We're going to have a seat because we're going to run out of time. All right, let's come down all the way just down onto our back right away. Keep your strap nearby. So 1 more back bend in the series. So I like to use a strap in bridge pose. There's a bunch of options. Option 1, you can have supported bridge. Just take the block underneath just on your tailbone, not on your low back. You want it on your tailbone. And you can stay right here. Lift the chest, root the feet down. This feels really nice. If this is what you're ready for, we're starting to cool down. You can take supported bridge. We're going to do bridge 3 times, so you can save that for the end if you'd like. So option 1 was that. Option 2, use your strap. So we've got the strap right, so I have it right underneath me, above my tops of my legs, below the butt cheeks. And then I'm going to turn my palms up and take hold of my strap. Squeeze my shoulder blades together. Walk the heels in, root down through the soles of your feet. Lift your hips up. Pick up the right shoulder, walk it underneath your chest. Pick up the left shoulder, walk it underneath your chest. So you're basically on your triceps. And your hands, the hands are touching your mat. So you don't want your hands floating up in space. You want to have a little bit of control here. And then we engage the quads and take the low belly toward the chin. So the hips come up. Inhale, one more breath. Exhale, lower. So we're going to lower one vertebra at a time. Upper back, middle back, lower back, come down. Take a breath. So second time, again, you can use a block if you're ready for the supported, or you can use your strap, or if you like, if it works for your shoulders, you can interlace your fingers underneath your hips. Let's do that again. Walk the heels in, inhale, lift on the exhale. Scoot the shoulders underneath the chest, lift the hips, draw the quads up towards your hips, draw your navel towards your chin. Root down through the soles of your feet. Imagine, just like in Dhanurasana, there's a block in between our legs and we're squeezing into that block. And then come down, one vertebra at a time. Take a breath. Last one. Get ready, inhale. Exhale, lift your hips. Wherever you go with this. If you've got your block, if you want, maybe you can come up onto your toes this time. Get the shoulders underneath the chest. The chest lifted. Inhale, belly button presses toward the chin. Exhale, engage the quads. And then again, lower down. Upper back, middle back, lower back. Windshield wiper your legs from side to side. And then bring your knees into your chest. Just take a breath here. Take your right knee over your left knee and then hug your knees back in. Flex through the feet, hug the knees in. If this feels easy for you, you can take a hold of your ankles and just gently pull the ankles apart. Keep the chest lifted. Maybe take your knees slightly over to the left. And then uncross and we'll switch sides. Left knee over the right, hug the knees in. Maybe take a hold of your ankles. And then maybe take the knees over to the right. And bring your knees up. Take your right ankle over your left thigh. We're going to slide the right hand through, clasp around your left thigh. Flex both feet, draw your left knee towards your nose. You can use your right elbow to gently press your left leg away. And even here, you can take your leg slightly over to the left to deepen that stretch. Bring your legs up, uncross, left foot over the right knee, slide the left hand through, clasp around the right thigh, draw your right knee towards your chin, left elbow presses into the left thigh. Maybe the legs come over to the right a little bit. Deep stretch into the piriformis. Big muscle in the glutes. And then let's uncross. Take your arms out to your side. Place your feet down. We're going to skip the hips over to the right, cross your right leg over your left, and come into a twist over to the left. You can maybe take your left hand onto your right knee. You can gaze over your right hand or just look straight up. Just a gentle twist. So you don't even have to cross your legs if you want to. Just go into a twist, a regular gentle twist. And then bring your knees up. Uncross. We're going to scoot the hips over to the left. If you'd like, cross the left leg over to the right. We take the knees over to the right. Bring your knees up. Uncross. Let's hug our knees into our chest. Bring your forehead to your knees. Give yourself a big hug. And then we'll find Shavasana. So lots of things you can do for Shavasana. It might be nice to put a blanket underneath your head, or you can cover up with a blanket. You can bring your feet wide and place your knees together, or you can roll up a blanket and place it underneath your knees, or you can even take a block underneath your knees that releases the low back, especially if you have active back pain. Or some of you, I know you like to do this, if you've got a chair or couch nearby, you can bring your legs up onto your chair. Still have maybe a blanket underneath your head or cover up with a blanket. Just make sure you're comfortable wherever you are here. We still want the chest lifted, but we want everything relaxed. So we don't want anything forced. You want to be able to completely release and let go in this pose, Shavasana. So once you're settled in, let's start to scan our body. And just notice if there's anything that's still kind of tugging at you. Is any place you're still holding some tension? Send your breath there. See if you can let that go. Relax your fingers, relax your toes, relax your jaw. Soften your temples. And then just let your entire body melt into the earth beneath you. I'll ring the chimes 3 times when it's time to come out of Shavasana. So just let everything go here. Enjoy. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Stay there. Sorry. can begin to awaken your body. Bring movement into your fingers and your toes. Deepen your breath. Make your way over to one side. And when you're ready, come up to a comfortable seated position. You can sit here with your eyes closed for a few more breaths. So notice how you feel. Checking in. How are you feeling since you got on your mat this morning? So maybe feeling a little more open or peaceful, just a little lighter. You can take your hands to your heart center. We're going to start ending the class just for a little while, see how it goes, with a metta moment. One of my my meditation teachers does this, and I really love it. And I think starting with the new year, we'll explore this and see how it goes. So the metta moment is, metta means loving kindness. So the idea is we're going to be spreading loving kindness, flowing loving kindness into the world, creating more peace, more love. You know, when we start with ourselves, it helps, you know, it's easier to just spread this out into the world. So this morning, or for this week, maybe just today, or if you can try it this week, we're going to, when you see someone, and it could be just one person, or it could be, you know, 50 people, or you see somebody, you know, in a store or on an escalator, just gaze into their eyes and silently say namaste. And they won't even know you're doing it. Just see how that feels. And then work on that this week. And we'll have a different activity every week. But basically what we're saying is, I bow to you, right? That we are one. Namaste means I honor the light in you that's also within me. And when you're in that place and I'm in that place, we are one. So give it a try, see how that feels. You may forget about it, but maybe at some point catch yourself, and we'll spread some loving kindness into this world, and we'll start 2021 off on a hopefully much better note. Thank you so much. Namaste. All right. Thanks, everybody.
You.
Happy New Year.
Wonderful. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, really enjoyed that. Oh, good. Thanks. So good to see everybody.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, everyone. So nice to see everybody.
Yes.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thanks for all sticking with me. And yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
for
Thanks for doing it.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
All right. Well, see you next week. I'll be here. Oops.
Okay,
All right.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Karen, so much.